Well, it's been a little bit over 2 weeks since I made a video, but heck, I've been busy. So I want to give y'all a little update, have a peek, see what I've got accomplished. The hydroponics, I've already taken probably 3 pounds of tomatoes out of here, you know, that have ripened up on the early girls. And now this, I've got to extend my support system out a little bit, but it's doing okay. And the tomatoes are really good and flavorful, and I've enjoyed them. Now here I've got watermelon, tobacco, a little bit of broccoli, some more tobacco that's ready to go in the ground. Then I managed to get almost all of my tomato plants planted. There's a little bit more tobacco, some more just in case hydroponics. So here's the biggest addition. I went down to Madisonville, and they were still giving out the Monterey mushroom compost free. So I rented me a 6x12 trailer, and I overloaded it, of course, and hauled it down here and put it on the ground, trying to get some water leaching through it. But I've managed to pull a little bit of my kale out and put it in this first row. And I've taken 6 of the plants, these are aromas, out of this, out of my greenhouse to free up a little room. Now these are just little round beds that I managed to make out of the planters that I had. And then I got a little junk that I kind of pieced together and threw some mushroom compost and a little bit of hay. Now that CB's greenhouse, I have to thank for this idea. He grows his tomatoes in hay bales. So, you know, I burned the first few of them. I had to replant some because I put a whole pack of Miracle Grow in there, and it was hot. I mean, it burned them. So those few down there are probably going to die. I got some to replace it with. And then these, they're doing pretty good. Now my planters, kind of mixed results. They're doing pretty good. But I threw some Master Blend in there, and I probably shouldn't have. I kind of burned them a little bit. But they're coming back. They're not real bad. And, you know, I burned the leaves. I think that's what I did. Kind of burned them a little bit. Now, these are another one of the planters, and it's okay. Right? You got quite a few tomatoes on there. Can't complain. And here's the greenhouse. I'll just do a real quick drive-by. You guys look at that. Look a little closer right here. That's a result of heavy pruning and trying to figure out what I'm doing. But I've been watching this girl on Roots and Refuge, and that's where I picked up a little bit of the finer points of how to prune. And that it's just kicking butt and taking names, you know. So I'm pretty happy with the results so far. This is the mushroom compost that I put in here last year, and there's only, heck, it's probably only 4 inches of that stuff in here. You know, I mean, it's compacted down now, but it was 6 when I filled it up, but now it's compacted down. Now I'm pruning the bottoms pretty heavy, and let me go inside and show y'all. Just a second. Get in here. My ducks and my chickens have kind of been tearing up my kale pretty bad, so I'm moving the kale out into the garden. But I've got 3 ropes here that I've tied up, and I've got all the plants in, and I'm laying them down as I go. So, you know, I get a little bit more length out of these plants. And kind of look around there and see they're not doing too bad. They really, I'm happy with them. I didn't think it was going to do this good. Now here, I got a fella gave me an idea, said, hey, why don't you use some conduit? So I got me some EMT or some of that lightweight conduit, and I nailed it up here, and it's a little bit more rigid. Now I ain't got no bungee cord, but you know what? That conduit's working dang good. So I got it all spaced out there, getting away from some of my ropes, but heavy pruning to get the wind where it'll blow through here, and you know. Then I added some more mulch, compost, putting the hay down. But look at them monsters. They just, you can't beat that. You know, they coming along pretty good. Now I got big hands, you know, but those are some beautiful tomatoes. So it looks like everything's going my way. You know, I'm happy with it. I'm proud of this garden, proud of this greenhouse. I've worked hard at it, and I just got finished with a visit from my grandbaby, and my wife came down and stayed with me for about 4 days, and we had a good time. Took her fishing. She caught 3 fish out of that pond. That's something else. He's only 4.5 years old, so I was able to take her down there, and she's learned how to cast a rod. And by God, we were down there at the end of the pond, and she hooked into one and reeled it in. She caught a little crappie, and then she caught a little perch, and then she caught a little smallmouth bass. So that girl was tickled pink. She got to catch those fish. And she's been handling all the chickens and, you know, just having a good old time. So we enjoyed the visit. Now I got to go back into Conroe tomorrow. So I'm trying to get everything buttoned up here, but so far so good. Everything looks like it's going my way. I mean, that's something else. That beats the heck out of what I expected, you know, but it's paying off for sure. You know, I got tomatoes galore. So, you know, I was thinking if I had a surplus, I might go down and start selling some of these things on the side of the road if they don't throw me in jail, you know, for not being socially distant enough, you know. But, you know, I locked myself out. I got a block on the other side of there. So anyway, it's been a couple weeks since I made a post, and I want to let y'all know that we having some success, you know, and everything going pretty good, you know. I just, all I like now is just to market these things and sell them, you know. Yeah, I tell you what, the flavor of these tomatoes is awesome. They've got acid to them. They've got some, they're not like the ones in the store. You can't, I don't know what the heck they're doing with the ones they get in them grocery stores, but they ain't got a bit of flavor to them, and they just bland. But these, they got a bite to them, you know. So anyway, one more look, and then I got to go down. I got another little garden down at the pond. I made a little bitty round circle raised thing, but out of tin, and I've got to water it. I'm using pond water on it just to see, but it's doing pretty good. I just put some compost on it, so we'll let y'all know how it goes. Maybe you come up toward Corrigan on 287, you'll see me on the side of the road selling tomatoes. Y'all can pick some up, you know. But that's where we're at. And boy, it's turned into a big old mess. But I'm happy with it. Anyway, y'all enjoy. We'll holler at y'all later. Bye.